the host of Straight from the Horse's Mouth.
Yeah.
We are live in effect.
Yeah, it's your boy DJ K City, man. We got some guests in the building this evening.
I am excited. We got a house full. All we need is a buffet table out front, and we can and a DJ, and it's on and racking. You know what I'm saying?
We talking about food.
I'm hungry. We're gonna let them introduce themselves on the line, starting with the young lady to
the
our
beautiful, the lovely.
Hi, I'm Rain Wilson.
Ooh, what's up, Rain?
How are you?
Wilson.
Yeah, this is Joseph Alvarez.
And we gonna let them have their own entry. We're savoring it. You know, it's like let it simmer. We're gonna let the two gentlemen on the end, they gonna simmer for a little bit. Then we're gonna move them over, have them on the mic. So y'all just stay there. Don't go nowhere. All right, so tonight we have Jungle King. We have the writer, the person behind this, that put this beautiful piece together. I got a chance to see this play, and I was floored. When I went because, you know, Jay was in it, you know, and I was like, okay, I promise I'll come see you. But if you whack, I'm going to tell you, you know. And I was like, wait, and I was going to be like, man, come on. See, I was already set to just tell him how bad he was and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, and I was going to tell him, you know, you come to my acting class and see how I get down, then maybe you could learn something from that, right?
Oh, like that?
Please.
Don't let it do you like
I was there, I was like, I felt like a mom watching her child perform. I was like, oh my God, look at Jay.
Adorable. Stop it now. Pinching people's cheeks and everything.
First of all, before we start interviewing them, for me to even get into the play, and here I am, you know, I am a diva and all that. I feel like I can walk into anything and everybody know me. Please, I could not get in this place. So I'm like, wait a minute. You know, I went through, you know, well, I'm this, and I was
the only one.
You know, I was like trying to get in. The doors was jam-packed, and it was just people waiting. I had to wait like 20, 30 minutes, almost an hour to possibly get in and just stand in the corner. So I was like, okay, I know somebody. Right. And I'm like, I'm Ursula. I mean, like, I am so out of here. And so I waited, and oh my God, I'm so glad I waited and that I wore waterproof mascara because I was in tears. So I want to talk to Rain, and I want to find out what made you write this piece. You're a beautiful young woman, and this is all about the men and their struggles and their things that they go through.
For me, I have a son myself, and I grew up in Chicago. That's home. That's really my home. And growing up in Chicago, I've done work in Chicago, on the East Coast, in LA, with at-risk youth. And I'm constantly surrounded by, in classrooms and on the street and in different, I work and I teach theater in prison camps with youth, and seeing the boys struggle to become men as they fight and they get called into the streets because they have no identity and they're growing up fatherless and they're walking this tightrope. And so I really wanted to write something channeling their voices that dealt with where they are right now and the struggles that I see.
I was just, when I was watching the play, because I have 4 sons, and I didn't, fortunately, like I said at the end when you had the Q&A and things like that, I didn't see any of my sons there, but I saw so many of my nephews on that stage. I mean, so many. And it was just... It hit home for you. It hit home for me. And I know everybody have a nephew, a cousin, or son, or a dad, or a brother, or something that was these characters, that are these characters.
I think that's the power of it. I think when we do the talkbacks, which our men right now have committed to doing the talkbacks pretty much after every single show, that's how dedicated they are. When we do that, people are connecting to the fact that that is my brother, or that's my son, or that's my next door neighbor, and they see it. We all have seen, in one way or the other, some young cat walking to his death. They're literally like just walking to his death, you know?
And so the message that you are trying to put out there about this play, because I mean, I don't want to give it away because I want people to see it. Yeah, I want people to go because I was totally not prepared. I went just to support Jay, and I was like, wow, I was speechless. And
I think the one of the main things I want to do is I want to open people up. I want to stretch their hearts and open them up so that they have a little bit more empathy about what it is that's actually creating this troubled youth. Because a lot of times we point at them and we say, look at that bad seed or that bad kid, he's in a gang, he's doing drugs, but we never deal with looking at the why or the how that's shaping him,
where it originated
from.
Here
we get a piece of that.
And that's good, because a lot of times, and then I'm going to let Joseph jump in, a lot of times they don't look at what happened. And whenever I see someone acting out there, I always know, you can almost feel the pain. You can, if you're listening and you're paying attention, you can almost pinpoint what the problem was. Sometimes that the child or the guy don't even know.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They're acting out and they don't even realize that they're still angry at their dad that said he was going to come and pick him up that Saturday and he never showed up.
That's right.
Sometimes they don't even know, because they have pushed it down and blocked it so much that they just release it with anger, and they don't even know it's so far back.
That's right.
That they don't even know why they're angry.
That's right.
You know, and even at the opening, when it was the last night. The last night. That's why I was like, okay, no, I have to see this play. So it was the last night. There were people, and I love that you guys had like kids from group homes and different things like that, and they saw themselves.
Yes.
And so it made them think, wait a minute, there's somebody else like me.
Yes. Yes.
And Joseph, I'm gonna let you jump in, because at the end, you guys don't know that there was during the Q&A, all these guys, and I'm gonna put them on blast. They were in tears. They were crying, talking about their story and what this project means to them. Jay Allum was crying. So if y'all don't think Jay cried, he was crying that day.
I need to get a twin pic.
Put me on blast. Put that on blast right there.
Because they're real men. They're real men, and they feel, and they were doing this for, you know, people that they know and people that they don't, reaching boys that they don't know. So, Joseph, I'm going to have you jump in.
It wasn't even hard, because, like, when you just get into the dialogue, what Rainn Wilson wrote, and when the truth hits you, it just, you can't help but to feel for it. You know, it's like, this is a real issue that we're dealing with. We have boys out there who want to be men, and so they're finding role models to model themselves after. Now, where we come in is like, okay, have we failed them because we haven't given them positive role models?
Right.
And we're talking about these mentorship programs. You know what? We're being out-mentored by the gangbangers. We're being out-mentored by the drug dealers. We're being out-mentored by the straight criminals. And you know what they do? They nurture theirs. They encourage theirs. And then they pass on skill set to theirs.
Right.
And that's what we're not doing.
And they live by it.
Oh, man.
They
you know
take
what?
it
Pride, too. When is the last time we gave somebody, a child, something to be proud of? And, you know, just gave them a compliment. I learned something from this woman right here. And she told me it takes 100 affirmations to undo one negative thing you heard about you.
Right. Wow.
And so with that said, we as men of color are behind. And then it's so easy to just fall into that male bashing. And that's what we were surprised when, you know, hey, a woman wrote this, come and audition for this, what? And I was ready for a male bashing.
That's another thing I was going to point out, because that happens a lot from females, from women, because they've been hurt.
Right.
And that's their way of releasing.
Hey, but you know what, Ursula? It's like, if they've been hurt, they don't realize they can talk about baby daddy, but the baby's listening.
Right.
And so how is this baby going to become a man? He's like, does he want to become a man? He doesn't, and now he's just searching. And I mean, I'm in my 30s, and I'm so happy that I have a mentor.
Right.
And just how it affects me to have a mentor, just to have somebody who's been there and tell me, nah, son, shouldn't go there. I'll give you that. Come on, son. You know better than that.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean,
what was you thinking?
Right.
My question is, Rainn,
Yes.
how long did it take to write this piece? And when you started writing this, was it like something that particularly happened that was just like you started locking yourself up and just start writing?